Hi Millennial Parents, my name is Shayne and welcome back to another episode of Millennial Parenting Guide. If you want to know more about me, you can follow me on my socials. I have a YouTube channel, an Instagram account, and a Facebook page, all named Millennial Parenting Guide. August is my birthday month, so happy 36th year of existence to myself. Yes! So much has happened in my life, and for this year, I want to share a bit of myself to you, my dear millennial parents. I am going to have a 3-part special series focusing in a stage of my life that I believe will also be a story of lesson and inspiration to many, especially to women. For this month, I'm going to talk about PPD or postpartum depression and my personal experience about the said mental illness. Yes, after giving birth, I've experienced imbalance in my mental health, and after a couple of years of battle with depression, I was able to regain peace and heal myself from that black hole. For the first part of this series, I will let you understand postpartum depression, the symptoms, and the experience of having it. Jumping into the topic, let's define postpartum depression. According to WebMD.com, it's the type of depression you may get after you have a baby. It can start anytime during your baby's first year, but it's most common for you to start to feel its effects during the first 3 weeks after birth. The duration of having postpartum depression may vary. As for me, postpartum took a toll on me, and I ended up having depression for at least 2 years. How did I realize that I was suffering from postpartum depression? Well, in the Philippines, postpartum depression and depression in general is not that much of a big deal. People often think that a person who is suffering or experiencing mental illness is crazy. Some people think that postpartum depression is just a woman's way of being OA or overacting, and it will naturally go away after a couple of months. In other words, I was not clinically diagnosed because I was too afraid that time that people, especially those who are really close to me, will think that I am crazy. Apart from that, I myself did not realize that I was already experiencing postpartum depression until years after. So, why is a new mom experiencing postpartum depression? There are 2 major reasons. The first one is hormonal imbalance or change. Imagine a woman having her monthly period. You will notice changes in their moods, or what we call mood swings. Sometimes they easily get irritated over small stuff, or sometimes they want to be alone and isolate themselves inside their room, right? This is because of the hormonal changes inside their bodies, and it affects the mood of the person or even physical appearance. Now, when a woman gives birth, there is a major drop in their hormones. The imbalance or change is so drastic that most women cannot cope in. For me, it was also a major drop in my confidence and inner joy. The second big reason is stress. When a woman gives birth, their body, mind, and even spirit experiences extreme stress. The physical pain is just a part of it. There are a lot of videos explaining the stress of giving birth, but even if you combine all of the videos, you will still won't be able to explain it when you yourself are experiencing it. It is the most excruciating, literally nerve-wracking, dramatic, and all hell loose experience. For me, 32 hours of labor was not enough. After 32 hours of extreme pain, my doctor told me that I need to undergo cesarean delivery because my pelvis is not opening up. Great. So without any medical diagnosis, how did I realize that I experienced postpartum depression? I realized it, as I recall, 5 years after giving birth. And yes, I was already mentally stable that time. We'll tell you how I got there on the part 2 of this special series. I checked on my old journals, look at my old photos, and I realized, man, I don't look like me at all. I was smiling in my old photos, but I don't look happy. And my journal says it all. So, what was my personal experience of having postpartum depression? Looking back, it all started a few weeks after giving birth. There was a major drop in my self-confidence. I felt so ugly, hideous, and incompetent. I am so used in living alone before I got pregnant. Then, when I got pregnant and gave birth, I felt the need to rely on people, cling on them, and tried so hard to fit in. I tried really, really hard, and I thought, I can do this. But inside me, there was a battle of rejection, fear, and the feeling that I am not loved. I thought that time that because I just gave birth, and I am a new mom, and I'm trying my best to know it all, people think that I am not competent and I am not good enough. And having these thoughts can be the most painful battle for a new mom, because whatever you believe in, whatever thought you feed your mind will manifest and will become evident in your life. And it was such chaotic thought that it dramatically become evident, and it dramatically manifested in my life. It became obvious with how I talk, how I react on things, and how I take care of my child. And because I felt so unloved, I cannot show the love that I'm supposed to show to my child. And because I thought that time that I was an incompetent parent, I cannot give the right amount of care that my baby needs. And that time, I was struggling so hard because I myself cannot understand what was happening to me. As much as I want to put everything intact again, I was so lost and so broken that after a couple of months, I was already destroyed. Addition to that, there are a lot of unfortunate events that happened in that period of my life. And when I say I was already destroyed, you cannot see it. On the outside, it cannot be seen. It cannot be seen because I was fully functioning. I am still working. People think that I am still taking care of my family, smiling at pictures, happy being with friends, all of these. And it's like normal. But deep down inside, I was struggling very, very hard. And as much as I want to explain it to people that time, I can't. I really, really can't. Because I myself don't understand what was going on. And then I hit it. I hit the bottom. And the bottom was black, dark, empty, and sad. Here's the thing. People cannot understand. They are confused. But on the other side, you're also confused. That's why you cannot explain what was happening. Due to the unfortunate events that happened in my life, the postpartum depression that I experienced transitioned into depression. And people might experience different type of depression. In my case, it was a deep type of depression. How did I say it was a deep type of depression? I can still vividly recall. It was after midnight, around 2 a.m. I was sitting beside the window, looking blankly in nothingness. And I remember it was my first time, after a long time, tried to have a deep conversation with God. I can still remember, I asked God to help me breathe. Yes, I asked God to literally help me breathe, because breathing was already painful for me. And it was not the emotional, I cannot breathe because I want to cry instead. No, it was not like that. It was simply, God, help me. Help me to breathe, because it was easier for me not to. And I literally need to force myself to breathe. That moment was really painful. And every night, after that deep conversation with God, I say a short prayer of gratitude, thanking God that I survived that day, thanking God that He helped me breathe. And that prayer of gratitude lasted for almost a year. Another instance was an afternoon of blankness, as in blank. I got out of the house, rode a tricycle, and I got into my senses in the middle of the ride. When I got into my senses, I didn't even know why I was inside that tricycle. Realizing that I was inside a tricycle with a bunch of strangers, and what I have in my hand is just my phone, nothing else. So I immediately called my friend, and thank God she answered, so that she can meet me at the end of this ride. Because I don't know what was happening, I need someone to talk to, and I don't have any money. What I did was I mustered my courage and asked the lady beside me, the old lady beside me, to pay for my fare. And maybe because the lady saw my confusion and panic while I was talking to my friend, she agreed to pay my fare. Thank God. So what was it like for me? What was the feeling? As I mentioned earlier, it was emptiness. It was like a very big space inside of me, and there was nothing there. I feel weak most of the time, and it was like I was in a limbo, a never-ending ride with only darkness ahead. It was a constant struggle, a constant battle inside your head, because I was really trying to fight it. I was trying to tell myself that there is still meaning, that I still have a purpose. But to what is that meaning? And what is my purpose? That I don't know. Suicidal thoughts, self-harm, being in bad vices and doing bad deeds, thank God didn't cross my mind. I will explain to you why it didn't cross my mind on my next episode. Why am I sharing this to you? As you can see, I am now okay, mentally balanced, emotionally stable, and spiritually full. So if you're experiencing what I used to experience, I want to tell you this. There is still hope. You can fight this, and yes, you can win. On my next episode, I will share to you how I told myself enough and how I transitioned myself and held my head above waters so that I will not get totally drowned because of depression. I hope that you can see this video as a video of inspiration, that you are not alone. Many are still battling from mental instability, and there are many who are still not clinically diagnosed. But we are not built and created to lose from this battle. Keep your head above waters. Keep on rocking, Millennial Parent. You got this.